Daytona International Speedway, Wednesday morning, last day of the first round of testing for the Daytona 500. When we left the track last night, there were tire issues. Two guys had crashed. We had some answers to provide. Carl Edwards said he wanted to see what was going on before he pushed his car too hard. Elliott Sadler said he wasn't too worried. We're going to go inside and see just what's going on this morning. Testing, Daytona 500, Wednesday morning, Daytona International Speedway.
The reason you see us loading up our stuff early, I'm sure that'll be the next question, is the fact that we've got a tire issue down here. I'm sure you guys are aware of this. There's been cars on the wall. We've learned all what we need to know about our race cars. We were 10th fastest in the drafting practice that we've been in, and I think if we risk one of these two cars as our Daytona 500 cars or our Daytona 500 backup, it's only going to hurt our Vegas and California stuff. So we opted as a team, and I had a group meeting with all the guys on where they're at, and we decided that our best thing to do is load our two Speedway cars up. We think we have a car fast enough to come down here and be very competitive for the 500, and we'll go from there.
When did these tire problems start?
As soon as we saw drafting practice yesterday, how many cars? I don't know if it's tire issues or cars rubbing the fender wells, but I know there's some concerns out here from some of the teams. So I don't have a 100% answer on that. So
a lot of folks
I just don't want to take a chance at losing one of our good race cars. You look at this thing and you say, okay, well, we left Talladega. We crashed with about 25 to go, running 5th. We led the race. We were fastest in 2 of the 3 sessions. I think that our super speedway program is pretty good, and let's keep moving forward instead of taking a step backwards here.
The tires though, like Elliott Sadler came in the media center yesterday, and he said that there is a problem, but it's because not enough rubber on the track. That it's not a problem for him because it's for the rookies who. For him, he's been here many years, it'll lay down the rubber on the track and no problem.
Well, I understand that, but right now we're having cars go in the wall. So at the same time, we want to be cautious, and it probably is because there's not rubber on the track. But the problem is there's not rubber on the track. So it's a fact of reality, and why risk our good pieces of machinery right now, where we know we can come back and have 2 really strong race cars when we come back to Daytona 500.
Goodyear is not going to change the tires, so these are the tires you'll have to run on the Daytona 500, I presume. Is that correct? Is that what you understand?
That's can you say small fuel cells again?
You think they should do that?
Stay tuned.
I gotta ask you another.
That was Robbie Gordon. This is Daytona, Wednesday, last day of round 1 of the Daytona 500 testing sessions. And that's one of the stories we're looking at this weekend. Big stories. Small fuel cells would, of course, mean more pit stops. They have 18-gallon cells right now. They would probably go to 13-gallon cells. But that's not a solution. Crew chiefs are telling me, they say the International Speedway Corporation may need to repave this track. It's too worn out. That's causing part of the problems. Of course, that's not the only big story down here at Daytona. Jacques Villeneuve looks like a big story happening. Don't be surprised if he wins the Daytona 500 pole. He's running fast. He was 6th fastest qualifying in Talladega. Same kind of cars. But that's not the only Jacques Villeneuve story. There's a sense of uncertainty around that team. There's no sponsorship right now, and it's unclear exactly what might happen there. Villeneuve was reported to be trying to buy Bill Davis Racing or buy a share of Bill Davis Racing. That was never confirmed, and that deal has apparently fallen through for unclear reasons. And now some of the crewmen over there are getting a little nervous, but they're also very fast. They got something to prove. It just might prove it down here. Don't be surprised if Jacques Villeneuve doesn't win the Daytona 500 pole. Slugger Lobby, as crew chief says, they're going with both him and Dave Blaney, the teammate, on the front row, or at least in the top 4 for the Daytona 500 when it comes up next month. And that's the story. Daytona, first week of Daytona 500 testing. Mike Mulhern for the Winston-Salem Journal and JournalNow.com.